everybody, welcome to the first episode of my Flosstube channel. I'm Lisa Loves Yarn on Instagram, so that's the best place you can find me for regular updates on where I'm up to with things. This is a Flosstube channel, of course. I also have other channels or videos on here that relate to my other passions for craftiness, which is knitting and sewing. So check those out if that's something that you're interested in as well. I'd like to welcome you to my first episode. So I learned to do cross stitch when I was a kid, of course, and since then I've had about a 20-year hiatus and I haven't done anything since my 20s probably, and recently my in-laws went to New Zealand and they went to a quilting craft shop, embroidery shop, and they bought me back a cute little cross-stitch kit with cats because I have a cat. I like cats. And so I did that up, and then I re-caught the bug for cross-stitch, and yeah, I can't believe how much it's changed since I did it last time. There was no real gadgets when I did it, and now you've got needle nannies or needle minders and stitch counters and all sorts of things. So yeah, so anyway, I'm getting back into it. I've got some needle minders on order. One is for my local cross stitch group called the Brisbane or Xedstitches of Brisbane, and we're meeting next weekend on Sunday at the State Library of Queensland. And I got a little needle minder, and I think I also ordered a mug with our logo on, so that's exciting. So I'll share that with you next episode. So I guess I should tell you a little bit about me before I get into things. My name's Lisa. I'm coming to you from Brisbane, Australia. It's not very cold here, even though it's winter. It gets cold overnight and in the mornings. But during the day it gets up to the mid-20s, so it's not really that cold. I'm on the north side of Brisbane, and we're surrounded by bushland and native animals and all that, so that's really nice. And I originally come from New South Wales, from a city called Newcastle, which is 2.5 hours or 2 hours now on the freeway north of Sydney, and that's where I grew up. It's originally an industrial town. We have coal mining up in the Hunter Valley, as well as vineyards, and in the Upper Hunter they breed a lot of the world famous racehorses. And in Newcastle we have a working harbour and beautiful sandy beaches, which I think are the best in the world, and but I might be biased. And I spent a lot of time at the beach as a kid, and even though I'm pasty, we used to go, my aunt used to take my cousins and I, because we were like Casper the Ghost. She used to take us of an evening right on dusk so that we wouldn't get sunburnt, and then we'd head home via Jim's ice cream bar and get a milkshake or an ice cream with a waffle cone, so it used to be fun. And then I've lived overseas in London and China over the past years, and then I've lived in Sydney on and off over a few years, and then about 6 years ago, people were being made redundant at my work, so I found a job fly in fly out from Brisbane in Queensland, and I work in the mining and construction industry. So at the moment I'm in the mining industry. I've worked in construction and oil and gas, and so that's where I went for my fly in fly out job to Dalby, which is out in the countryside. And I do miss being near the beach when I was there, so but it was an adventure and really good. And then I met Wayne, my partner, and fell in love, and so I found a job back in Brisbane in the CBD, and we live together now on the north side of Brisbane with our cat Pearl, Miss Pearl. She's 17. She's a grey tabby. She's adorable. And a little gentle lady, but she gets up to mischief as well. And even in her old age, she still likes to run around like a chook with its head cut off, as we like to say. I don't know if you have that term anywhere else. Anyway, so recently I went down to Newcastle to visit my grandmother who turned 99. I knitted her a shawl for her birthday because it's very hard to buy for ladies of her age group, and she loves it. She won't take it off. But while I was down there, my mum also, because I've got into cross stitch again, she found me, she had this kit from ages. Well, it's not really a kit, but it does come with some little treasures or buttons and beads to put on. I think it's from the 90s. She got it for $5 at the op shop, which is a Dimensions Charts and Charms, 72378 So Cozy. And the design is by Lynn Walters Buser in counted cross stitch, 14 inches by 12 inches of finish size, or 36 by 30 centimeters. And it says 1996. That probably sounds about right. So op shops are what, if you're in the US, you would call a thrift shop. We call them op shops. Mum and I used to love when I lived in Newcastle going for op shopping days. Find all sorts of treasures. Yeah, so it's got like little mini scissors and little charms to hang up, and yeah, it's very cute. Just a little sewing room right up my alley, so I'll eventually get to making that. I don't know that I'll change the colours. I think I like that it's that 90s style pastels colours. So, and I actually have a Singer sewing machine at my uncle's place that I need to bring up from New South Wales. That was my great-grandmother, Ivy's, and she got it second hand, so it's well over 100 years old. And so I've got to bring that up. So mine looks like that as well. So, what projects am I working on? I have one finished object. FFO, as you like to say. So the little cat cross stitch that I did, 2 ginger cats and 1 grey one like Miss Pearl, and it says it's best to be yourself, which is always good advice. And then I had this cat fabric left over from Wayne's mum made me a plastic bag holder for the kitchen, and she gave me the leftover fabric, so I had this cat fabric there, and I also have some others in my stash, and isn't it cute? So I just had some leftover polyfill, so I used up all of it, which is great to use up stuff out of your stash, and then I've got a good excuse to go buy more. So yeah, so that's my FFO, so that just sits in my craft room, and eventually when I get we've been looking to move for a long time, but eventually when we move I might have a craft room of my own, and I'm in the study at the moment, and I can have a chair set up and I can have this on my chair. So that goes up there. And okay, so on to whips. I was doing a Scottish Outlander themed cross stitch on black 16 count Ada. However, I forgot that it's been 20 years since I did cross stitch, and my eyes aren't what they were, so I can't actually see what I'm stitching. So I found it too tiresome because it just was giving me a headache and I could hardly get anything done, and it was just really slow going. And it was called Dinner Fash, which means don't worry in Scottish, and then it has flowers going around it with a Scottish thistle and that. So it's very pretty, but I'll have to get some white Ada to do it on because yeah, black Ada is just not for me. It's just too dark and I couldn't see it. And I'll hang that on my wall eventually. So yeah, so that's one whip that went into the never to be seen again pile probably. It might come out maybe in 20 years time, I don't know. My current whip, which I got this snap frame from Spotlight Australia, and it comes in 2 sizes, so I've got some shorter ones to make a more square frame. But this one's perfect because I don't have to change it over all the time. So you might wonder what this is. It doesn't really look like much. It's Scottish themed again. I have Scottish family. My grandmother and grandfather on my father's side are Scottish. Oh, sorry, I should say my grandmother and her parents are Scottish. They come out from Edinburgh in 1922, when my grandmother was about 11. Anyway, I'm doing a map of Scotland, and it has my family tartan, which is all from my mother's side, the family tartan, because my dad's side of the family, although they're Scottish, they don't have a tartan. And my mum's side has also got some Scottish there, and they've got a family tartan, the Farquharson clan. So I've got the Farquharson pattern to put on the map of Scotland. So the whole of Scotland will come right down, and it'll be all in the family tartan, all filled in with the family tartan. So I'm just doing the outer islands at the moment. So I don't know which ones they are. They might be Lewis or something, the Isle of Lewis. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's on 18 count Ada that I got from Spotlight as well. I know a lot of ladies use hand-dyed fabrics and everything. I haven't been to any needlework stores for many years, so I hope to get to that next month when we go on holiday. But at the moment, this suffices. I can see the holes. I can see them without using something, but it's easier if I've got magnifying lenses and a light, a really good light. I found these online because I saw a lady when I was watching Flosstube in the US, and she uses this for when she travels to retreats and things. And it's the what do they call them? What's the name of it? Oh gosh. Anyway, I got this on eBay. It doesn't have a specific name. I'll find out for you and I'll send you the link down below on eBay. But anyway, they're really great for when you go to meet up with others to do cross-stitching together, although I look like a cyborg. It comes with all these lenses and a built-in LED light, as well as it comes with a head strap if you prefer that rather than like when you wear glasses. I don't wear my glasses when I use this, but I do take regular breaks every 15 minutes, just because it's quite heavy on your nose, because the batteries all sit above your nose for the light, and also you're using magnified lenses, so I just like to give my eyes a rest every 15 minutes. So I'll just get it out and show you. So it comes with this nice little neat case with all the different magnification lenses, and you can just grab them out easily. They go from 1 times magnification through to 3.5 times magnification. So far I've only used the 1 times magnification, and that has been more than sufficient to do what I need to do. Maybe when I get a bit older, I'll find I have trouble and have to go up a magnification. Or if I'm using things that are finer than 18 count fabric, so like 32 count or higher. And it comes with this nifty little microfiber cleaning cloth, just like you'd get with your glasses, prescription glasses. So that all comes in that little box. And I think I'll just continue to keep it in there because it's made for it, and it sits quite neatly in the box. So I'll just put that in my craft bag, my project bag. So also speaking of project bags, when I went to my first meetup for cross stitch last month, I didn't have any sort of project bag for, I've got lots of knitting projects but nothing for cross stitch. So I had some flamingo fabric left over and some from another project and some mauve fabric. I was going to use it to make a cover for my sewing machine, which is behind me. I've made a prototype there. But I ended up whipping this up the night before and finishing it the morning of before I went to my craft group. I originally made this to fit my foldable lap stand hoop, but I don't like the lap hoop. It doesn't sit on your lap comfortably, and I need the thing to come up closer. So I find this is lighter and easier, and I can hold it right up there if I need to, because I'm blind. And it also, I think, hopefully, oh yes, it does fit my project in this Q-snap frame, so that's really good. So yeah, so I made this project bag, and it's sort of like canvasy fabric, this flamingo fabric, so it's quite thick woven cotton. And I had these cotton pink woven straps that I bought by the meter at Spotlight Australia. And then I added this cute pocket, big pocket at the front, which is actually perfect for my magnetic pattern holder. So this actually can hold your pattern, and it's got magnets, and you can actually use this to make a stand so that it stands up while you're doing your work. And that fits just perfectly. I measured it to fit perfectly for it to sit in the front pocket. Inside it's lined with mauve fabric, just plain poly cotton fabric. And I'll just open up. I put another big pocket inside just to hold my notions. And got a thread cut DMC thread, clover thread cutter, which I use for my knitting, but it also doubles for my cross stitch. And yeah, it's quite roomy in there, and I can fit quite a lot of things. So my project and my box with my magnifying glasses will go in there, so that's quite handy. So moving along from that, all I've got left to show you is recent acquisitions. So I'll just show you, when I ordered my hoop frame, lap frame from Fox Collection, which we have this Fox Collection, it's an online store, and it does all sorts of craft, any sort of craft, and it has accessories and things. And when you buy something over a certain value, they send you a free gift with every order. And so I got this lipstick. Looks like a lipstick, it's very elegant. But when you open it and you put it up, it's a needle holder. So isn't that cool? So that just goes down, and it's the size of an actual lipstick. And yeah, perfect. I love it, and very princessy. So that's one of my recent acquisitions. Also, I went to my local news agency and I got this Ultimate Cross Stitch Travels magazine, and it's volume 16, 2018. If you're in the UK, it's £8.99. And it has 255 charts, which is awesome. And I mainly bought it for this one, the puffin. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Anyway, it has some really cute little patterns in here, but I'll just show you the puffin one, which I love, if I can find him. Goodness me, of course when you try to show people, it won't come up. Ah, here we go. Oh, no, tricked me. Oh well, it doesn't matter, I can't find it, and I'm not going to make you sit there looking at me flipping through a magazine forever. But yeah, it has some really, really cute patterns, all to do with travel, and yeah, well worth getting. So you could check your local library if they happen to have gotten it in, and it's got so many patterns that'll keep me going for ages, just if I want to do like a little mini or short pattern that's not too involved. At the moment I've only got one whip, but I did recently buy, what page 90's on? Sorry, here he is. So cute. It's like a little wall hanging by the seaside with a little lighthouse and the rocks and the flowers. Very cute. So that's one thing that's on my wish list to stitch. I also recently purchased a chart online from Etsy, and I'll put the details below. It's a Star Wars theme one, and it's like a silhouette one, and I'm thinking I'll make that. It'll take me a long time, it's quite a big project. But I'm thinking I'll make that and give that to my brother-in-law, because he's into all Star Wars stuff. I love it too. I may end up making myself a Star Wars themed one as well. And I have been eyeing off some full coverage ones. I do really love them, and they look so pretty, but they are very epically large. So we'll see what happens. And I do like watching Priscilla and Chelsea on the Housewives of Cross Stitch. If you haven't already watched that, it's really good. And they do a lot of little mini cottages and things like that. So I might get some of them because I really like them for Christmas. Oh, that's what I did. I found a floss tuber recently via Simply in Stitches. Has a Floss Tube Friday video, and she mentioned a lovely lady in the US. Her name's Luda. She's Ukrainian Russian, and she's been doing lots and lots of videos in floss tube videos in Russian. However, she's recently started doing them in English, and they're really wonderful. And if you're into Mirabilia or the big samplers and that, she does them. And I'm in awe of her because she just pumps out those Mirabilias and that, and she gets them done in like a couple of months. Like, I don't even know how she stitches so fast. But she's been doing it for 14 years, so I guess she's well practiced. Anyway, definitely check out her channel. Her name's Luda, and I'll put the link below. Show your love for her and follow her on, subscribe to her channel. And she also does ones where you can see how she does different stitches and things like that. And yeah, when I was watching her video, she had a Mirabilia, and I've never really paid much attention to them because when you look online, you can't really see the pictures. Like in the stores, I find the needlework stores, it's different to knitting stores. The needlework stores, the picture's so taken in the distance that when you try to blow it up, it just goes blurry and you can't see what the actual... So it doesn't really inspire me to buy it online. I really need to go into a stitching store and have a look at it. But anyway, I saw her finish Mirabilia, and it was a small one, and it was part of the 12 Days of Christmas set that came out. And it was 6 geese a laying, and it was a beautiful brown goose with a golden crown and little jewels hanging off it, Swarovski crystal jewels, and it's sitting on a nest with eggs, and it has 6 geese laying down the bottom. And I'm like, OMG, I have to have it, but it's out of print. I couldn't get it. Anyway, I found it on eBay, one lady in Canada, she's still got some left. I'll put the link below if I can remember. That's coming in the mail, and I'm so excited because when I saw it, you might go, oh, a goose, right, okay. But I have a swan who is chocolate brown with glitter on her, and she's a glass ornament that goes onto my tree, and every year I put her as my angel on top of the tree, and she's got a golden crown just like the goose. So I thought I've been wanting to make something Christmassy to put out at Christmas time, and I'm like, that's it, 6 geese a laying. So that's what I'm waiting to come in, and I'm very excited by that. And I've never done a Mirabilia, but it's a small one. And I've never used fancy floss or anything like that, so, or jewels or put beads on things. So I'm excited to try that out, but I just have to be patient and wait for it to come in the mail. And that's about it for today. So hopefully I'll try and do these floss tube videos regularly, because I'm going to try and keep them short and sweet. And if you're interested or you want to come back, please subscribe below and click on the little bell icon to make sure you get a notification. Otherwise you might not know that I've put a new video up. And also check out my other videos if you're into other crafts like knitting or sewing. And I'll see you next time. Bye.